Hello, and welcome to Secrets from Athletes, where we dive into what makes a top athlete and how you can apply their routines and mindsets to your own life. I'm your host, Andre Schall. Today with me, I have a former teammate and now Division I rower at Wisconsin's women rowing team, Anna Fabrycky. How are you doing today, Anna?
I'm doing good.
How are you liking Wisconsin so far? Do you like the school?
Yeah, it's been great. The convenience of the boathouse on campus is, I guess you can't really overestimate it. I can just like stop by, grab my laundry, hang out, whatever. And then it's been great. Like, it's really pretty. The weather's been nice so far, but it's only September, so
Yeah.
that's what you would expect.
Now that's really nice having the boathouse on campus.
Yeah.
All right, getting into the questions. So how'd you get into rowing and what made you stick with it?
So when I was in 10th grade, I had a friend who rowed, and I lived in Chicago at the time. And so there are like three high schools in Chicago with rowing teams. So it's not really a big thing in the way that it is on the East Coast. And I so this friend rowed club that went to my school, and at some point during the year was like, okay, so do you have enough time? And I was like, where are you going with this? So in the end, he was like, you're tall and you're big and you look like you'd be good for rowing, so you should try it out. So then this was the same week that my family told me we were about to move across the country that summer. And so where we were moving to in Virginia has like rowing teams on all of the high schools pretty much. And so it was the perfect opportunity if it was going to be so accessible to pick up the sport. And this friend's approximation of me ended up being right, and I never turned back.
That's wonderful. I feel like one of the best ways to get into a sport is to have like a friend suggest it. That's honestly kind of how I got into rowing too, is because it was my first day at Robinson. I walk up, I see that table for rowing, and
Yeah.
I'm motioned over. I'm like, yeah, why not? I'll join. But I feel like because rowing has such a good sense of community, when you're like new to an area, it really helps out with
Yeah.
finding your place. All right. On the topic of rowing, what's the best piece of advice someone from rowing has given you?
Okay, so this one isn't rowing specific necessarily. Well, I guess anything can be applied somewhat broadly, but my coach said when we were doing a run, actually, you can't stop because if you stop once, it makes it easier to justify stopping a second time. So, if you need to, slow down, but don't stop. And so, whenever I'm doing a piece, it's just like, okay, keep pulling, and if you need to, slow down. And then another coach, one of the college coaches, when I was visiting a college, we were talking about a 2K plan, and she said that you can't give yourself the option to go slower. Like, you can't say, oh, I'm going to try to 2K at a 153 or a 154 if it ends up being hard, because it will end up being hard. And so if you give yourself that out to start with, you're going to take it. And so maybe the 2K won't be your goal, but you can't allow that at the outset.
For the viewers, a 2K, that's a 2,000 meter piece. It's kind of a rowing test of strength. And then like 153, 154, those are kind of your splits. That's your speed for a 500 meter bit. So like a 154, you do 500 meters in a minute, 54 seconds. But Anna, back to your first point about don't stop, because then it's easier to stop the second time. I feel like that's something I've struggled with before, but I've kind of worked on that. Because there's that saying, a tree falls the way it leans, and I feel like that's exactly what you're talking about there. How the
Yeah.
brain looks for that way out.
Right.
All right. So on the piece of advice, what's a one piece of advice you'd give to your younger self?
I think it's important not to worry about what exactly would, like, about the future, and take the next step that you can right now, because whenever you look back, it's so clear how everything was working together. But in the moment, there's no reason to worry about like all the possibilities, because it's not going to really change the outcomes.
Now I feel like that's that trust the process idea. That's a saying I like to say a lot. It's just trusting
Yeah.
the process. How did you do that with like recruitment to go Division One?
Well, my mom encouraged me that no matter where I ended up, I was going to be happy with it in the end, because it might not be the place that I thought I would end up in May, or the place that I thought in August I was going to end up, or the place, when I ended up verbally committing in October. But it was right that I was happy with it. And so when certain doors were closed and I was bummed out, it's just an opportunity to keep on moving and see what doors might open or what might continue to happen.
I feel like when some like other doors close, they could have been like distractions, and it kind of really helps you going forward on like what your path is supposed to be. So going Division One's not easy, and if you had to recommend one daily habit for athletes who want to do that, what would it be?
Prioritize sleep. So this is something that I've held all through high school as well, is that even before like grades, perhaps, prioritizing sleep, because if sleep falls, grades fall. And if sleep falls, your athletic like abilities fall too. And there's a better word for it, but I'm blanking. And so if you keep sleep in its place, then it's easier, not that everything will automatically stay in line behind it, but it's easier to make it work.
Mm-hmm. That's honestly, I think that's great advice. I feel like sleep people completely ignore a lot, or just don't take it for what it is.
Yeah.
Because there's so many scientific studies on it. I personally need to get better with sleep, because it's like sometimes I'm like, I'll stay up a little bit, work on this homework. Oh, it's midnight. I should probably go to sleep, wake up at 6. But I feel like that rest, that truly is kind of the base to build up for anything that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So now on to like lessons and skills that you've learned from rowing. Aside from how the importance of sleep, is there one big lesson or skill that you apply outside of rowing?
So I'm not going to say I'm the best at applying this, but trusting others, because I'm the sort of person who is the one heading the group projects, who is checking in and being like, get your stuff together, do your part of the assignment. But in rowing, like, that is, especially as a rower, not as a coxswain, that is very much not the most effective way to get the boat going. And so I've had an amazing coxswain last year who would like let me know she was in control by making sure she knew where my water bottle was. And like these little things that made me be able to be confident that she had stuff under control, so that I could focus on rowing my best and pushing my hardest. And then when I had coxswains that weren't as good, and where I felt the need to worry about, is boat going in the right direction? Are we going to be in the correct race? Are we going up at the right time? Nothing was as smooth or enjoyable. And I think that is applicable to other aspects, because I can't try to do everything, and there's a reason that we have sort of like groups or roles that are distributed among different individuals. So yeah, trust others. You can't do everything yourself.
That's beautiful advice, because I feel like, especially with rowing, this, as it's a extremely, like you were just saying, team-dependent sport. Everyone needs to do their own thing. If you focus so much on doing other ideas, like focusing on, like you were saying, where's my water bottle? Oh, are we in the right race? You kind of lose energy, and you lose the focus of the main goal itself.
Yeah.
Now, on this topic where you're talking about focusing on all these different things, worrying about these small things, have you ever faced self-doubt in your sport? How'd you overcome it, and what did you learn from it?
So I wouldn't say I've faced self-doubt, but I've definitely faced imposter syndrome. And I think the way that has helped me to overcome imposter syndrome, and that has existed in all sorts of spheres of life, not just in my sport, is that thinking, first of all, what makes someone qualified in the first place? Like, whether when I was really into writing, what makes someone qualified? Well, if they're writing, then yeah, they're a writer. Or rowing, well, if you're doing it, being dedicated, showing up to practice, being a good teammate, pulling your weight, then that makes you a rower. And so having people also rally around me who believed in me and encouraged me, and they didn't doubt when I was doubting, that helped me with the imposter syndrome as well.
Do you have any tips for others who might be facing that imposter syndrome?
Pretty much what I was saying, and then also make sure you have a community that is going to, when you're like, oh, I'm not actually this thing, be like, what are you talking about? Yes, you are. So who will lift you up?
That type of like that motivation, that I feel like that really helps. And second question, because I just saw it here on my list of questions, I thought I might include it. What's the biggest challenge you faced in rowing itself? Is it this imposter syndrome, or is there maybe something else?
Um, I don't know. I will say it was really discouraging one season. The first time I did like actual sea races, when I was at the bottom of the speed order, below girls who were like significantly slower than me on the rowing machine, and I realized how important it is to do technique. And so that was a struggle and a discouraging moment that was then able to propel me into becoming a better rower, because I talked to my coaches and I was like, I need good feedback on how to row better. And then throughout the rest of the summer, I was told so many specific details about my technique that made me a better rower. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, no, that does. Thank you. I feel like that's truly having like someone in your like environment, like you're saying, a coach who can pinpoint those things and give like good constructive feedback. I think that really helps to propel athletes to a higher level. What do we next? All right, my next one is, since a Division I rower, that's like a great athlete. What do you think separates those great athletes from everyday athletes? And do you think that's similar in other areas of life too?
Yeah, I'd say dedication, and that is in every single atmosphere or sphere of life. If you're dedicated, you're going to excel so much more than the next person who isn't. And trying hard together with the dedication. And obviously there is some degree of physical talent, but there is that saying, talent or hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And so if talent works hard, it's going to go really far. But even if you don't have talent, like, the genetics or whatever, working hard can get you really far. And yeah, I will say I don't feel like I can speak to it a ton, because I do have a lot of the talent or the physical leg up, I guess, but it wouldn't have gotten me anywhere if I wasn't willing to push through those pieces and show up every day and prioritize my sport.
So when you say dedication, I'm guessing that includes like discipline, hard work, and like passion for the sport itself, correct?
Yeah, showing up, making sure you prioritize it, all of that.
And for like showing up, because I know as a rower myself, there's a lot of hard pieces where it's like, I don't want to do this. Is it that similar thing to what you said earlier from your coach's advice? Just don't stop, even if you need to slow down, but don't stop, because then it becomes easier the next time. Is that what you kind of use to get through those hard pieces?
Yeah, I personal competition also, because historically until now I wasn't really doing erg pieces with a team that had competition on the erg. Like, I was the fastest on the team, and so thinking about where I want to be and making those realistic goals and pushing myself to achieve those. And then also, especially after I had committed and knowing that I was going to a Division I school and practice wasn't going to be optional this year. So last year as a senior in high school, practice wasn't optional. I was showing up to practice even if I had homework, because I needed to build those time management skills that would then serve me now.
I feel like time management, that's such an important thing for everyone in life, especially athletes. How do you do it? Because I honestly need tips on time management myself.
Yeah, well, I feel like 10th grade self had this life together a lot better than I do now. But some things I do is procrastinate homework with other homework. Like, to trick yourself, take homework that you don't like to do as much. And if you're going to procrastinate, you might as well procrastinate it with the homework that you want to do. And another thing is with the sleep side of things, if I stay up late to do work, the work doesn't get done nearly as quickly. But if I wake up an hour early, which I haven't done yet, but some girls on my team wake up before practice to do homework, and it's helpful for me because I have a much stricter deadline where even if the homework is due at midnight, I'm going to use all the way up until midnight. Whereas if I have class at 8, and I need to leave at, or, you know, in high school, I had class at 8 and needed to leave by 7:30. So then I have to focus in a way that at night it just sort of takes up as much time as I have. So I guess with time management, don't give yourself more time because you're going to use it.
I think that's honestly, I'm gonna start using that. Procrastinating homework with other homework. That's a cool one. I'm gonna start using that. All right. What is one of the funniest superstitions you've seen in your sport, or a story you have from your sport?
Yeah, I don't know how like many funny ones I have, but some ones that I had in my boat last year where we would bop the buoys as we went by in on the race course for good luck. Or one of my teammates the one who spearheaded that superstition, she also did not like us to jinx anything. So those are two funny ones. I also like to have a chocolate chip cookie beforehand. And I said it was for good luck, but it was really just because I like the chocolate chip cookies.
Hey, chocolate chip cookies. I mean, it worked. You guys won states, and you guys got, I believe, 12th in the nation, correct?
Something like that.
Yeah. How'd you do it? How'd you guys have such a successful season last year?
I don't know. I think that from my coach's choice of moving to a 4, that was a really good decision. But I also think that we had a lot of new talent. We had 3 sophomores in the boat who had been on the freshman 8 the previous year. And then myself, I had learned a lot over the summer, as I was just talking about, in terms of moving the boat more efficiently. And I think that between having a great coxswain that we could really, really trust and knowing each other well and trusting each other to push hard, and then also just a lot of talent was in that boat.
Hey, it paid off. You guys had a great season. So, what are your future plans for your sport and just like academics in general?
I want to excel where I'm at right now, and then based on how I am able to do here, then I can decide whether I would want to try to pursue rowing in a higher sphere. So it's definitely not out of the cards, but I'm taking it one step at a time.
I think that's smart. Just keep building up to that success. Hey, in a few years, never know. Excuse me. Maybe I'll see you on the U.S. national team.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right. Moving on to our blitz questions. These are
Okay.
just more fun questions. You don't need to put too much thought into them.
Yeah.
First one, what's your favorite day of the week?
Oh gosh. Probably Sundays.
Why? Any specific reason? Or?
Well, I have church on the Sundays. It's the Lord's Day, so it's really a good restful time to go worship God.
That's nice. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, The Princess Bride. I'm not a big movie person, but it's not the best quality, but it's really just a fun movie to watch.
Yeah, no, it's a really fun movie. For my viewers, if you haven't seen it, watch it.
It's
worth
extremely quotable.
it. Extremely. What's your favorite food?
Oh. Well, I'm thinking of The Princess Bride, so I really like peanuts. Anybody want a peanut? But I don't know. I am very much with favorites, a in the mood type person, so I don't have like overarching favorites. It's just what I'm in the mood for.
All right. Well, since we're on the topic of favorites, who's your favorite music artist, or the music artist you're in the mood for right now?
Oh gosh, I really like Josiah Queen. He's a 20-something Christian artist right now.
Cool. I might need to give his music a listen. I haven't heard of him before.
Yeah, it's a
All
bop.
right. All right, I'll check it out. What sport would you do other than rowing if you could be at the highest level in any other sport?
Oh gosh. I think water polo would be really fun. I am a horribly slow swimmer, so it is not an option, but if it were, water polo. Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right. I've seen some of those games. It's impressive what they do.
Yeah.
What's your favorite boat class in crew?
Oh gosh. Okay, so I really like the 4 because we spent a ton of great time in it over the spring. And we've been in the pairs recently at Wisconsin, and that has been really fun. It's also been great because I've had to steer, and initially it was a challenge that I was not up for, but seen myself get a lot better. And I don't know. I think a lot of people on my team's favorites as a pair, and I could see the pair becoming my favorite, but at the moment, the Coxed 4 has got to be it.
The pair's a lot of fun. I've only been in it once, but it was awesome. All right, and the final quick question is, would you rather always flip off of blocks, so for my viewers, that's flip at the start of a race in a single, but win, or have a 10 lengths lead in any other boat, but then catch it's in rowing, it's called a crab, where your blade gets stuck in the water in the last 100 meters and lose. So would you rather flip off a start and win, or lead by so much but just lose in the last little bit?
Oh, I would totally rather flip. Like, imagine that come from behind. But then the other one is just so depressing.
Yeah. But no, that's flipping off of blocks in a single and winning. I think that's Instagram worthy right there.
I don't feel like that was even a hard choice.
Yeah. I just thought it was a funny question. Gotta ask it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Anna, for being on today. I wish you the best of luck at Wisconsin, and I'll see if I can catch some of your races online, watch them when you guys beat up a cruise.
Yeah,
Right.
thanks for having me.
All right. And thank you all for tuning into Secrets from Athletes. Make sure to follow on Instagram at secrets_from_athletes. We're also on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. We'll be back next week with more Secrets from Athletes to help you refine your mindsets and routines.